Day 10 of the Diddy trial has begun, and I have the transcript to give you all the details. So once again, guys, we are back, and this is coming from Matthew Russell Lee over at Inner City Press. I always like to say cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, so this is the best that we can do. Just kind of shorthand, not technical shorthand, but just, notes that he can take of what has been said on the stand. But as always, I will give you a recap immediately following this with more details going in depth with what was said, the reactions of the jury, all of that good stuff that we've been doing. But let's get started. So, it says here, U.S. versus BOMBSHELL Day 10, starting with rulings on testimony of Capricorn Clark and others, DNA and Kid Cui's burn car, and investigator Jimenez. So, starting with the judge, it says, he says, I see you burned. The midnight oil over the weekend. What about the DNA questions? So, and people who don't know, a USA is the prosecution. Investigator Jimenez's knowledge of his is extremely limited. But didn't he ask the chirologist if any DNA test was done, but not the results? Yes, there was a partial profile from the glass bottle in the car, but investigator Jimenez does not know what that means. But there you don't object to the report coming in. Only what Mr. Egnifil will ask. We do object to the report coming in. He got the results back. If the DNA came back with Sean Combs's DNA, this investigation would have gone in a different direction, but it was consistent with a female contributor. So Combs Agnifilo, of course, that's his defense attorney. So it's not whether the result was accurate, only the impact. I'm going to overrule the objection, but I'll hear you at sidebar after the direct. This DNA issue can mislead the jury. We would prove this up through the chirologist. This is fair game for this witness. For now, the objection is overruled. What about the summary charts? When are they being offered? Some early next week, others along with our second to last witness before we rest our case. Bringing in bank and phone records and texts is okay. Bringing in bank phone records and text is okay, but some text threads are already in. The summary charts will save time as they did in the ex-Senator Bob Mendez case. That leaves us with the objection to Dr. Hughes. Is the U.S. going to respond? Yes. Submit your response by tomorrow. The objection. Oh, so he's showing this is where he has the objection. He has all the different court filings, what's on the public docket. So, he's just putting that in there if you guys want to get more into those weeds. Now, as to Mr. Muscat's testimony, which seemed like an opinion, how is it admissible given the requirements of Rule 701? We'd like to look at the cases submitted by the defendant, then put in a letter. Okay, bring in the jury. Jury entering. Welcome back. Call your witness. The government calls Capricorn Clark. Where did you grow up? Born in San Francisco, moved to LA, worked for Def Jam, then Death Row Records, a late 90s gangster rap label. What's your relation to Suge Knight? He is the father of my friend's child. Then you worked for Sean Combs? Yes, he is over there in the blue sweater. Sweater? I worked for him from 2004 to 2012. Were you kidnapped? Yes. Where did you first meet Mr. Combs? When I moved to New York City in 2002, we were super platonic friends. A headhunter said I should work for him as a personal assistant. I did until 2006. Your duties. Shadow from Shadow, him from Wake. Up. Then what? Head of women's for Shah Jahan. How long? A year. Then global brand director for Sean Combs. Name and likeness due diligence to grow the brand. Then I was terminated until 2016 for Cassandra Bento. Ventura. Okay, I'm saying it correctly. I think you guys get mad at me when I pronounce her name wrong. Did you work in this building? And there's a photo of Bad Boy Records office. Yes, we moved there in 2005. Your first day. Where did Mr. Combs take you? Central Park after dark along with Uncle Polly. He looked like a linebacker. Does this photo look like him? No. He doesn't have on the blackout shades he wore all the time. What did Mr. Comey tell you in the park? That since I worked for Suge Knight, if anything happened, he might have to kill me. Objection. Overruled. Proceed. How did you take it? Seriously, it had gravitas. How did you react? I said, I didn't have anything to do with that stuff. Objection sustained. Miss Steiner, what was Polly's role? All aspect of Mr. Combs' movements to keep him safe. To keep him safe. There were also Drock, Roger Bonds, and Reuben. Who's Drock? A good friend of Biggie Smalls. Running back type body. Did you ever observe Mr. Combs with a gun? Yes, in my home. And did he talk about it? Mr. Combs told Chris lightly he had a gun. He had a problem with 50 Cent. Oh, child, y'all. 50 Cent. I cannot wait to see 50 Cent's reaction. If you guys don't know, he is Diddy's nemesis. Were you ever accused of stealing? Yes. Jewelry. It had been given to me. It was on loan. It went missing. Yes. What did you do from Teterboro? I called 1440 and told them to lock it down. What did Uncle Polly do? He questioned me 3 hours. You went home to Queens? Yes. With Uncle Polly. He searched my house. Where did Uncle Polly take you? 1710. Broadway. It was dilapidated. It was being fixed up, but I didn't know that. Uncle Polly took me to the 6th floor. The door was locked behind us. There was a 6-eft folding table and a heavy-set man. Can you describe him? 5 of me, 2 linebackers. He was chain-smoking. Did Uncle Polly stay? No. Intermittently, he came back. What did the heavy-set man say? I was there to take a lie detector test. What did he say? What did he say would happen if you failed the lie detector test? That they would throw me in the East River. Objection. Can we have a sidebar? So then they have their sidebar. Miss Steiner, you may proceed. What was his demeanor? Very serious. I was terrified. Did you want to take the test? No, I was afraid. How was the test? Wires on you and they questioned you. Did I steal? Did he tell you the results? He said to calm down that he couldn't get a good reading and he might have to throw me in the East River. Anyone else in the building? Not to my knowledge. Could you leave? No. Paul said no. What did Paul say at the end? That he come back the next day to figure this out. We started again another lie detector test in the same location all day. Were you free to leave? No. How long did this go on? 5 days. Did you tell anyone where you were? No. I was just trying to survive. I worked under an NDA. Objection sustained. Jury should disregard the last answer. What would have been? What would have you been doing shadowing Mr. Combs? What happened after 5 days that I could return to work? That Mr. Combs would see me the next week. Did Mr. Combs ever discuss it with you? No. Why did you continue to work with Mr. Combs? If I left, they'd think I stole. What were your days like? From his townhouse at 74th Street and Park in the morning to Daddy's house studio at night. How much sleep? How much sleep did you get? On a good day, 4 hours. On a bad day, too, I got a stress condition. I was paid $55,000. Whoa. Okay, hold on 1 second. There it is. Did you get paid overtime? No. I spoke to the head of HR. She said I was owed $80,000. How did Mr. Combs respond? He ripped up the paper. Would Mr. Comey stay at hotels? Yes. With whom? Kim Porter. Once a week. I think he's staying at a hotel once a week like he did with Cassie during the freak-offs. It has been said that Kim Porter, All the women that Diddy has been with have had to do free-offs. And it's no surprise that if he's staying with her once a week at a hotel that Kim Porter would allegedly be forced into doing or would not forced. I don't know if she was forced or not, okay? But she would be doing freak-offs with Diddy probably. The exact same way that Cassie was doing them, okay? With the same, the peeing in the mouth, the infections, all of this. Like I said, none of this was new with Cassie. This has been going on for quite some time. And it didn't start with Diddy. He learned this from somebody. Okay, but this is a bombshell, guys. That's crazy. This is his assistant saying, yes, of course she's not saying that directly. The freak-off most likely hotels during a freak once a week like he did with Cassie. What names would he book a room under? Frank Black, Frank White, just like Cassie's freak-offs. And the girlfriends, Jackie, Star. That was Cassie's name that she used at the freak-off hotel. Where did he stay? The Intercontinental in Buckhead in Atlanta, the Beverly Hills Hotel in LA. What were in his bags? Open this up. A camera. Small. A camera. Small bottles of baby oil and lube every time. Oh, sorry. Not every time. I thought there was a question. So, here it is. A camera, small bottles of baby oil and lube, cameras every time. What would you be doing? Watching TV, ordering room service, keeping up on sleep. Afterward, I'd sweep the room for anything left behind. Any damage? Baby oil. Kim Porter was doing free golfs with the baby oil. Wow. How frequently would Mr. Combs stay in a hotel with Cassandra Venture in 2008, like once a week? At Liege, I think I say it right, at Liege, the London Intercontinental for several days, the IV drips. What did he speak to you about his relationship with Miss Mentor? Oh, did he speak to you about his relationship with Miss Mentor? Yes, Miss London was there. Chef Jordan in the other room. He called Cassie over, asked her to walk there. Hand me that. Go back into the other room. She did it. What did he say? You batches won't do that. That's why you don't have a man. Wow. Wow. What did you say? Your mother effing right. Did you observe Mr. Combs obtain drugs? A girlfriend in New York and LA from one stop. Molly ecstasy delivered to Puff or to me. Did he ask you to get drugs for him? Yes. Ecstasy. And in the south of France he asked me to get cocaine. I said for who? Why? I wasn't gonna do it given how my mother died. Objection. Sidebar. They're back. Who did Mr. Combs say the drugs were for? He said, not me. Did you get them? Yes, through the Spanish security guard. He also, got prescription drugs. In my name. They were in the toiletry bag I'd carry or security. What about bulk cash? Oops. Sorry. What about bulk cash? Yes. $100,000 coming back from Europe. Where'd he get it? Club bookings in Europe. He'd keep it, then give it to security, then into his bedroom's personal safe. Violence fighting. Was Mr. Combs violent with you? Yes. At Star Island, he told me. You are not to leave this house. Pharrell Williams was brought in by boat. I returned Mr. Walker to Palm Island. He called and said, where the F are you? You can't have a life. Comes for real. One time I asked the chef if there was turkey bacon. She said, no effing turkey bacon. I said, I hate it here. The chef told Mr. Combs, and he pushed me again and again. What did he say? He said, if you hate it here, get the F out of here. Did you leave your employment? I did. But you returned as global brand director. Why? He was impressed by what I did in the job I'd left for a couple of albums. He said, you wouldn't have to work directly for me. What were you doing for Miss Venture? Managing her image. Maximize the optics for her. For Sean Combs. He had final approval on everything in LA. Where did you live? A gated community. We had followed Kim Porter there. Where was Miss Venture? In New York City on the West End. She would come to LA and stay with him or with me or in a hotel. Who else was seeing Miss Who else was Miss Vento seeing? Scott Muscati, Kid Cudi. How'd you learn that? She brought him to my apartment. What did she say? She texted me that we're going to this public place in LA. I told her it was a bad idea and to delete the text. Why? If Mr. Combs learned about Mr. Muscati, Mr. Combs paid for my phone and hers. I took Cassie to Best Buy to get a burner phone. When did Mr. Combs return to town? Not long after. He took Cassie to a hotel, the Cipriani. And then December 22nd, 2011, between 5:30 and 6 a.m. There was a banging at my door. What did you see through the peephole? A furious puff. Objection. Ask another question, Miss Steiner. What was his movement? Pacing with something in his hand. Did you open the door? I did. What was he wearing? A button-down sweater, torn pants. He was holding a gun. He came to my apartment and said, "Why didn't you tell me? Who is Scott?" I said, "I don't know any Scott." What did he say? "We're going to kill this in, I'm thinking, ninja." Where was the gun in his hand? I said, "I didn't want to go." He said, "I don't give a F what you want. Get dressed." What concerns did you have? He'd never come to my house. Did you try to escape? No, I got dressed. Who joined in? Ruben in the black Escalade executive class. Where was Ruben? Driver's seat. I got in the back seat, right-hand side. Mr. Combs was in the left next to me. Usually he would have sat in the front. Gun was in his lap. How long did it take you to drive from your home at the time to Kai's house in the Hollywood Hills? If you push it, 15 to 20 minutes. What did Mr. Combs and Ruben do at Kai's house? They went in. Could you see? Could you see in? Yes. What did you do? I called Cassie on her burner. I said, "Cassie, where the F?" I told Puff. I told her Puff was at Kai's house. Then I changed her number in my phone to my best friend Stormy. What did you hear on the phone? That Scott was at Cassie's. When Mr. Combs came back, he took my phone and called the last number. Then I saw Kai driving up. Mr. Combs saw my face and said, "That's that inn right there." We drove off and saw the police driving the other way towards Queens. Puff was pulling himself together. We stopped at the Key Club and he told me to call Cassie. What did he tell you to tell? Cassie? That he had me and wouldn't let me go. How did you respond? How did Miss Venture respond? She said, "Okay, come get me." She was calm. Who drove you, Ruben? What did Mr. Combs then tell you to convince Cudi not to say that it had been him at his house? I picked up Cassie. Where did you go? We went to Quis and tried to convince him not to file a police report. What did you tell them? That Puff came to my house with a gun. What did you tell them? He said if you tell on him, he'll hurt us. What was Mr. Muscat's reaction? Mind blown. Objection sustained. Jury will disregard. What happened at the house? He was kicking Cassie again and again. How was Cassie in a fetal position? Mr. Combs kicked her all the way to the street. She was crying silently. Where was he kicking her? Her back, her backside. So while she's giving this testimony, her voice cracks. Where were you? 5T away. So was Ruben. What did Mr. Combs say to you? He said, "If you jump in, I'm going to F you up too." What did Ruben do? Nothing. Who did you call? I told him, "Tell your brother to stop Puff. He is kicking the shite out of her." I called Polly too. I told him to handle it, but Ruben did nothing. What's next? Also, Mr. Commies told me to get the F out. I walked away. Before I turned the corner, could you still see her getting kicked? Christ. Oh my goodness. In fact, I'm calling on Jesus because this is evil. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Okay. Who did you call then? Rosa Venture. That's Cassie's mom. Breeze. I hope what I said was correct. He's beating the crap out of your daughter, I told her. You can call the cops, but I can't. Why did you not call the police? The goal for the day was to find Kai, so don't call the cops. Who sent this email? Cassie. She wrote that he was going to put out sex tapes about me and have someone hurt me and Scott Muskie. Do you remember if you answered this? I don't. The police may have called you. The people who look into fire. Oh, Cuddy told them my name. I put the phone down. It was time for this to end. What did Holmes tell you? He stated, I should kill you, Batches, and I should cut her face. And how many times did Mr. Combs scare you? I'd say 50 times. It seemed like Drock was just repeating what Puff was saying at the time. What does Harve Pierre, the head of Bad Boy Records, do? I told him that Puff had taken me away. What? Did Pierre the Harp say? That's crazy, but it'll work out, he said. I got a notice to quit. Someone said I didn't properly put in for the holiday I was on. Had you put in? Yes. To Harve Pierre. Did your perks go away? All of them. My health, my 401k, my home, and my car. What did Mr. Combs say? I would never work again. That he would make me kill myself. Wow. Wow. Okay. Did someone offer you a job? It didn't work out, though. I had trouble finding work. When Mr. Combs sued you in October 2012, did you settle? May I come up? By the way, during the break, here is a court painting of Capricorn Clark from artist Elizabeth Williams, courtesy of Inner City Press. There you have it, Capricorn. They're back. Have you filed any other lawsuits against Mr. Combs besides the payment agreement? Not at all. Did you work for him again? 2016. I could not get a job with anyone else. Cassie signed a new record deal with Epic. Who did you need to get permission from? Sean Combs. Cassie was using drugs more. Mr. Combs. Was she still seeing someone? Yes. What made you hire a lawyer in December 2023? Cassie's civil lawsuit made me feel terrible. Her complaint didn't say anything about me. I want my life back, I told Mr. Combs. You took me hostage. No longer an objection. Was the idea of you working for Mr. Combs again talked about? Yes, as the head of staff. When was the last time you talked to Miss Vento? 2018. Also, Mr. Miscotti in 2012. There are no more questions. Take a break. May I begin? We're going to take a break now. Okay. They were on break, but now they're back. This is the defense's cross-examination. You are still sworn in, Miss Clark. In April 2024, we met. Brain Friedman, you had a lawyer? Yes. You said you'd work with Mr. Combs again, right? We talked about it. Yes. You saw Miss Jarros writing down things. Yes. You said you didn't like Cassie for Mr. Combs. Why? I only thought they were dangerous. Tell me about your trip to New York. I was in the Bronx. It was awful. The year was 2002. First I met Jeanette, and then Mr. Combs. 2001 was the year of the World Trade Center. After that, I met Mr. BOMBSHELL. He didn't do drugs, right? He got high at his dad's house. Things got worse. Yes. You told Mr. Freeman he could look for a job for you. It was all very formal from lawyer to lawyer. But were you told that you couldn't get a job while a probe was going on? That's not what I remember. Read this and let me know what you think. Tell me when you're done. Do you remember telling me you had a huge crush on him? Question 403. The state of mind of Mr. Agnew. It has been given for the truth. We were told to follow certain rules on this section. They're back. You asked him to get chocolate by calling him Chalk. Yes, I did. You began with Def Jam Run DMC. I don't go back that far. I look more like Foxy Brown. Line of Red Jay-Z. How did you get hired by Mr. Combs? After the World Trade event, I put my resume on Monster. You agreed to work for me. I thought, maybe. I thought he was great when he was on Broadway and in Raising the Sun. He played a big part. He was famous. I'm sorry, but my phone is going off. Then I followed him around during the Vote or Die campaign. It was my job to get t-shirts on famous people so they could go to picture shoots. They came when I called them and told them Puff wanted them to. Yes, they did. How long before the gold was lost? It had been 4 months. He had a white party with voting papers at his home in the Hamptons on July 4th of that year. When did the jewelry go missing? Following July 4th. I'm sorry. Jacob the jeweler still let them borrow the gems. Do any of you have a lie detector? Mike B., his hairdresser. That same day, he went to 1440 Street Level to get his nails done. The next day was the lie detector test. You didn't tell HR? Not at all. I lost my job for 3 weeks. How did you get fired back? On his 35th birthday, I went to work at Cipriani to make a list of renowned people. From 2004 to 2006, I went back. Not all of them as a personal help. Then make links. I was making $65,000 at Comey's and $90 at Jive. Why did you go back to Combs? I had the best music for R. Kelly. Hi, Mr. Combe. Wow, he's also Mark R. Kelly. Okay. It made Mr. BOMBSHELL feel good. Asked me to come back for Women's Sean John. It seems like I did a great job for him. You were great. He told you. He didn't. That word wasn't used by him. You did a lot for him. Yes, I did. Didn't other people also work hard? Not as hard as I am. Sorry about that. Miss Leddit taught me a lot. She is almost crying as she talks about this. I did learn a lot from Mr. Combs. For black people in business, he broke the glass ceiling. Need a moment? No, it's just hard to explain. Let's take a break. The judge is telling Inspector Jimenez that the government's challenge to DNA questions is no longer valid since the jury and witness have left the room. We asked for a little more time. We are behind schedule and haven't had time to eat lunch. It's possible that our case will take 5 weeks instead of 6. They take a longer break because of this. I want to make sure there is nothing else. That's it, though. The guys are taking a break. I will bring you the rest of the day's report when court is over, but I need to follow up right now. As I already said, read my summary to learn a lot more about what is happening in court. We saw some bombs go off today. The freak off with Kim Porter, you know. This is about Cassie kicking the gun that she was taken like this, and then she went back and worked for him. Guys, I need to figure this out, so make sure you're signed up and click the bell to get notifications. Describe your thoughts so far in the space below. Do any of these stories surprise you? Didn't it? Just now, some of the things that were said surprised me, and there's still a lot more to go. Like I said, make sure you sign up. It is very important that you click the bell icon because that will let you know when my next video opens. I'm also trying to get these out quickly because they need to be done soon. You won't want to miss any of it. I'm going to do that now. Oh my God. Get rid of some of these things and the images that are going through my thoughts. Also, I'll see you guys soon.